My beloved child, I speak to you in this quiet hour because something is shifting tonight. This is not an ordinary restlessness. This is not merely the weight of a long day pressing against your mind. This is not just another night where your thoughts move in circles and your heart searches for a place to settle. I am drawing near to you in the stillness, and your spirit is sensing movement before your understanding has found language for it. You have felt suspended, as though one season has ended but the next has not yet fully opened. You have tried to rest, but something within you remains alert. You have tried to distract yourself, but your soul keeps returning to the same question. Why do I feel this stirring? Why do I feel as if something familiar is loosening? Why do I feel as though I am standing at the edge of something I cannot yet see? My beloved child, do not ignore that holy awareness. I am not disturbing you to frighten you. I am awakening you to listen. What is shifting tonight is not destruction. It is not abandonment. It is not punishment. It is not proof that I have turned away from you or forgotten the tears you have carried in secret. This is holy repositioning. This is my hand moving what no longer belongs beneath your feet. This is my mercy, interrupting patterns that have kept you circling the same fear, the same wound, the same false comfort, the same small place you once called safe because it was familiar. I see how quickly your heart tries to interpret movement as loss. I see how easily your mind begins to ask, what if everything is falling apart? What if I missed my moment? What if this is the beginning of something I cannot survive? But I tell you, you are not standing at the edge of collapse. You are standing at a threshold, and at a threshold, you must not run backward simply because forward is not yet clear. Listen carefully. Do not walk away from this message. Do not walk away from the prayer that is rising in your chest. Do not walk away from the conviction that has been quietly touching the places you have avoided. Do not walk away from the moment of surrender I am placing before you. There are nights when I whisper gently, and there are nights when I call you to pay attention, because the hour is carrying more than you realize. Tonight is such a night. Ask me, what are you shifting in my life tonight? Ask me without fear. Ask me without clinging to the answer you hope will preserve everything exactly as it has been. Ask me with open hands, because I am not leading you into confusion. I am leading you into truth. I am not stripping you of peace. I am removing what has pretended to be peace while quietly draining your soul. And before we go deeper, let your agreement become visible. If your heart knows I am speaking to you, like this video, as an act of agreement, not for performance, but as a small declaration that you are present in this moment. Subscribe if you desire to keep receiving nightly messages of faith, comfort, correction, and hope. And write in the comments, tonight I will not walk away from what God is shifting. Let those words become a witness over your own heart. Now stay with me, my beloved child, because the shift begins in the very place you have been calling stability, when in truth, much of what you have been holding was only survival wearing the name of peace. The place you called stable has become too small for the life I am bringing forth in you. And I know those words may touch a tender place, because you have fought hard to keep certain things standing. You have called it peace when you endured what was slowly wounding you. You have called it maturity when you stayed silent because speaking truth might disturb the room. You have called it patience when, in truth, you were afraid to move because movement might cost you something familiar. But my beloved child, I do not expose this to shame you. I expose this to free you. I do not uncover these hidden places to accuse you. I uncover them because I love you too much to let fear continue wearing the garments of wisdom. There are walls around you that once felt like protection, but now they have become confinement. There are patterns that once helped you survive a painful season, but now they are keeping you from breathing freely. There are agreements you made in weariness, agreements to expect less, ask less, hope less, feel less, and believe less, simply so you would not be disappointed again. I saw the moment you lowered your expectations because you were tired of aching. I saw the moment you decided it was easier to carry the weight quietly than to risk being misunderstood. I saw the moment you began holding relationships together alone, carefully measuring every word, absorbing every tension, carrying every silence, because you believed that if you stopped holding it, everything would fall apart. But listen to me. What depends on your exhaustion to remain standing is not the shelter I built for you. What requires you to abandon your own heart in order to keep peace is not my peace. What demands that you delay obedience again and again because the unknown feels unsafe is not stability. It is fear dressed as safety. It is sand pretending to be stone. It is an old house still standing only because you have been afraid of what would happen if you stepped outside. Do you see? I am not taking away true peace. True peace comes from me, and what comes from me does not enslave your soul. I am removing false stability, the kind that keeps you bound to places where your spirit has stopped growing. I am loosening your hands from foundations built on the fear of loss. I am touching the beams of structures you have leaned on, not to harm you, but to show you what can no longer carry life. You have asked me for renewal, and renewal cannot be built on a foundation that is cracking beneath the surface. You have asked me for freedom, and freedom cannot live inside a room where fear controls the door. My beloved child, there is a difference between a refuge and a prison. There is a difference between a covering and a cage. There is a difference between holy stillness and the stillness that comes from being afraid to move. Some of what you called home was only familiar captivity. Some of what you called loyalty was fear of rejection. Some of what you called waiting was delayed obedience. Some of what you called being strong was actually the slow shutting down of your heart. I have seen it all. Not with anger, but with compassion. I know why you built those walls. I know why you chose silence. I know why you learned to survive by needing less. But now, I am calling you beyond survival. You are not being stripped of home. You are being moved toward a truer dwelling. You are not being left without shelter. I am teaching you to dwell in me. As it is written, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." Do you see? Your safest place was never the old pattern. Your safest place was never the relationship you were afraid to lose, the plan you were afraid to surrender, the routine you were afraid to disturb, or the version of yourself you kept small so others would remain comfortable. Your safest place is my presence. Your true foundation is not what stays unchanged around you. Your true foundation is who holds you when everything around you begins to move. So when you feel the old house trembling, do not panic. When the fragile walls begin to reveal their cracks, do not assume I have left you exposed. When the familiar shelter no longer feels like shelter, do not accuse yourself of losing your place. I am showing you that the room has become too small. I am showing you that the ceiling has become too low for the growth I have placed within you. I am showing you that the foundation cannot support the weight of the future I am preparing. This is why tonight feels different. This is why your spirit cannot settle into old comforts the way it once did. This is why the things that used to distract you no longer quiet the ache. This is why the habits that once helped you cope now feel empty. I am not letting you return to what numbed you. I am not letting you confuse quietness with healing. I am not letting you rebuild the same fragile walls and call them protection again. Let your heart hear me gently. I know the old place was familiar. I know it had memories. I know it gave you a way to understand yourself. I know leaving it feels like losing part of your story. But I am not erasing your story. I am redeeming it. I am not asking you to despise the shelter that helped you survive. I am telling you, it was never meant to become your permanent dwelling. A temporary shelter can protect you in a storm, but if you stay there after the season has changed, what once protected you will begin to limit you. And this is where the shaking begins, before the new ground is visible. The first movement is not always the opening of a door. Sometimes the first movement is the trembling of the floor beneath what can no longer remain. Sometimes the first mercy is discomfort in a place you would have stayed forever if it still felt easy. Sometimes, my love begins by making old foundations unable to hold your trust, so that your heart can return to the only foundation that cannot be moved. What is shaking in your life is revealing what cannot go with you. It is not shaking because I have forgotten you. It is not trembling because my hand has become weak concerning you. It is not unstable because your future is collapsing. It is being exposed because what once seemed strong enough to hold you is not strong enough to carry what I am placing upon your life. The weight of your next season cannot rest on old fear. The promise ahead of you cannot be built on hidden compromise. The peace I am giving you cannot be mixed with the dependence that kept you returning to what wounded you simply because it was familiar. You are asking why things feel uncertain. You are asking why the old patterns no longer comfort you. You are asking why the familiar doors feel heavy, why familiar conversations feel empty, why familiar ways of coping no longer bring relief, why your heart is no longer able to pretend that everything is fine. But I tell you, this is not failure. This is not rejection. This is not proof that you have lost your way. This is revelation. This is my mercy, bringing hidden things into the light before they can follow you into a place where they would harm what I am building. Do you see? What feels like collapse is often only the breaking of an old dependence. What feels like confusion is often the moment your soul can no longer survive on what I never meant to be your source. What feels like loss is often release. What feels like rejection is often redirection. What feels like delay is often protection. What feels like the closing of a door is often my hand, keeping you from walking back into a room where your spirit learned to shrink. I am not tearing down what is holy. I am separating what is holy from what has been holding you in fear. My beloved child, there are things you have carried because you thought carrying them proved love. There are burdens you accepted because you thought endurance meant faithfulness. There are places where you stayed because you believed leaving would mean failure. And there are cycles you repeated because the pain of the familiar seemed easier than the courage of obedience. I saw you trying to be strong. I saw you trying to keep peace. I saw you trying to make broken things feel safe by managing every reaction, every silence, every expectation, every possible disappointment. But now, I am teaching you that peace cannot be maintained by losing yourself. Peace is not the reward of self-erasure. Peace is my presence ruling within you. This is why I sometimes disturb what you have outgrown before you have the courage to leave it willingly. I know how deeply the human heart can attach itself to what is known, even when what is known no longer gives life. I know how fear can call itself wisdom. I know how comfort can hide in the shape of limitation. I know how you can pray for freedom while still gripping the chain because the chain has been with you for so long. So in my mercy, I allow the old place to lose its power. I allow the old taste to become bitter. I allow the old hiding place to feel narrow. I allow the old pattern to stop answering you. Not because I am cruel, but because I am calling you out. Do not walk away from this process, simply because the middle feels uncomfortable. Do not run back to what I am loosening you from, because the space between here and there feels uncertain. Do not mistake discomfort for danger when I am the one holding you. There is a holy discomfort that comes when truth begins to separate you from illusion. There is a holy trembling that comes when old foundations begin to confess their weakness. There is a holy silence that comes when I am teaching you to hear me more clearly than you hear your fear. I am not only changing what surrounds you, I am changing what happens within you when life moves. I am changing your reactions so that you no longer answer every disturbance with panic. I am changing your discernment so that you no longer call every open door a blessing and every closed door a punishment. I am changing your appetite so that what once satisfied the wounded places in you no longer feeds the healed places I am awakening. I am changing your boundaries so that love will no longer mean abandoning the wisdom I have given you. I am changing your spiritual sensitivity so that you will recognize my voice even when circumstances are loud. This is the hidden work beneath the shaking. Before the outer door opens, I am forming the inner person who can walk through it. Before the new place appears, I am preparing the heart that will not turn the new place into another prison. Before the promise is placed in your hands, I am teaching your hands to release what cannot be carried there. For if I gave you the next thing while your heart was still bound to the old dependence, you would bring the old fear into the new room and call it wisdom again. So remain with me. Stay in the place of listening. Stay where my truth can reach the parts of you that fear has kept hidden. Let the shaking speak what comfort never told you. Let it reveal what was weak. Let it reveal what was false. Let it reveal what was temporary. Let it reveal what was never meant to become your identity. You are not being emptied to be forgotten. You are being freed to be filled. You are not being exposed to be ashamed. You are being uncovered to be healed. I have always met my children at the edge of what they could not control. I met them where the sea stood in front of them and the past pressed behind them. I met them where no human strategy could open the way. And I will meet you there also, not after you have mastered the unknown, but while you are standing before it, trembling, listening, and learning that My presence is stronger than the thing you cannot control. My beloved child, look with me at the edge of the Red Sea, because this is where your soul is standing tonight. Behind Israel was Egypt, the place they knew, the place that had wounded them, the place that had bound them, the place that had taught them to live beneath oppression and still call survival a kind of life. Before them was water they could not cross by human strength. Around them was fear. Beneath their feet was the trembling ground of a moment they could not control. And in that place, where the past was pursuing and the future looked impossible, I spoke a word that still carries power for you tonight. As it is written in Exodus 14:13, stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord. Do you see? I did not tell them to invent a road through the sea. I did not tell them to overpower Pharaoh in their own strength. I did not tell them to explain the mystery before they obeyed. I told them to stand firm and see. I told them to remain at the edge of the impossible long enough to witness what only my hand could do. And this is what I am speaking over you now. Stand firm. Do not run backward because fear has become loud. Do not turn away from obedience because the way forward has not yet appeared. Do not assume that because you cannot cross by yourself, there is no crossing prepared by me. Standing still before me is not passivity. It is not weakness. It is not denial. It is not pretending the sea is not there, or pretending the army behind you is not real. Standing still is the holy refusal to let fear choose your direction. It is the decision not to return to familiar captivity simply because the unknown feels too wide. It is the courage to stop negotiating with the old voice that says, go back. Go back to what you know. Go back to the habits that numbed you. Go back to the conversations that kept you small. Go back to the dependencies that made you feel safe for a moment while quietly draining your spirit. Go back to self-protection. Go back to unbelief. Go back to the old agreement that says nothing will ever truly change. But I tell you, do not go back. The place behind you may be familiar, but familiar does not mean free. The old pattern may know your name, but it is not your identity. The old bondage may offer you a kind of certainty, but certainty without me is not peace. Egypt had streets Israel could recognize, food they could remember, routines they could predict, but it was still captivity. And some of what your heart is tempted to return to is the same. It has memories, it has language, it has rhythm, it has explanations, but it does not have the freedom I am calling you into. The sea did not open while they were still clinging to Egypt in their hearts. The way appeared when they stood where I had led them. The path was revealed at the edge, not from a distance. My beloved child, there are some things you will not understand from the safety of old ground. There are some instructions that will only become clear when you stop walking away from the place of surrender. There are some waters that will not part while you are still asking me to prove the whole journey before you trust the first step. Do you see? I am not asking you to create the way. I am asking you to stop abandoning the place where I intend to reveal it. I am not asking you to be stronger than the sea. I am asking you to believe that I am Lord over waters you cannot divide. I am not asking you to defeat what is behind you in your own strength. I am asking you to stand with me long enough to see that what pursued you cannot follow you through the passage I open. There are enemies of the heart, old fears, old names, old accusations, old cycles that can chase you to the edge, but they cannot cross into the promise when my hand makes the way. This is why tonight feels like pressure. This is why the urge to return feels intense. This is why your mind may be searching for some familiar comfort, some old doorway, some former version of yourself that knew how to survive without trusting deeply. Fear wants movement, but fear does not always care which direction you move as long as you move away from surrender. Fear will tell you that standing still is dangerous. Fear will tell you that waiting before me is foolish. Fear will tell you that obedience should come with a full explanation, a visible bridge, a written guarantee, and every outcome already settled before your heart says yes. But my way often opens after the yes. My light often comes as you walk. My provision often meets you in motion, and my deliverance often appears when you have stopped running from the place where I told you to stand. Be still, not because nothing is happening, but because I am acting where your eyes cannot yet see. Stand firm, not because you feel no trembling, but because my promise is stronger than your trembling. Wait with me, not because the sea is small, but because I am greater than the sea. I know the space before you looks impossible. I know you cannot imagine how the waters could divide. I know you have measured the situation with human understanding and found no natural road through it. But I have never needed a natural road in order to lead my children forward. I can make a path where there was only depth. I can turn the place of terror into the place of passage. I can use the very barrier that frightened you as the testimony that I was with you. So remain at the edge of obedience. Do not step backward into old captivity because the new path has not yet appeared. Do not let panic interpret the silence. Do not let the sound of what is pursuing you become louder than the word I have spoken over you. Stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord. The same God who opened the sea before Israel is the same God who calls you now, and the same God who opened waters in the night is the same God who called Abraham forward without showing him the full map. And to Abraham I spoke in the same way, not by placing the whole road before his eyes, but by calling him away from the land he knew into the promise he could not yet measure. As it is written in Genesis 12:1, I said to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." Do you see? I did not hand him every detail before he left. I did not unfold every mile, every valley, every altar, every delay, every test, every blessing, every hidden preparation. I gave him my word. I gave him my promise. I gave him enough to obey, though not enough to control. My beloved child, this is where your heart must listen carefully tonight. You want the full map, because you believe the map will quiet the trembling. You want to know where this is going, how long it will take, who will remain, what will change, what will be required of you, what you may lose, what you will receive, and whether your obedience will be worth the risk. I know this desire for certainty. I know the part of you that wants every answer before you move. I know the part of you that says, "Lord, if you would only show me what comes next, I would trust you more easily." I know the part of you that is tired of guessing, tired of waiting, tired of being brave in places where nothing feels clear. And I do not despise your trembling. I do not mock your questions. I do not turn away because your faith is still learning how to breathe without visible guarantees. I see the wounds beneath your need for control. I see the moments when uncertainty cost you deeply. I see the times when people changed without warning, doors closed without explanation, and hopes you carried quietly seemed to fall through your hands. I know why your heart wants to see everything before it says yes. But I tell you, with love and authority, control cannot become the condition for obedience. Explanation cannot become the foundation of your trust. If you require every detail before you follow me, then your peace will belong to the map and not to my presence. And I am moving you tonight from dependence on explanation to dependence on presence. I am not withholding the full map because I am cruel. I am not hiding the future because I enjoy watching you wonder. I am teaching you to walk with me in a way that cannot be stolen by changing circumstances. If your confidence is built only on knowing every outcome, then any unknown will be able to shake you. But if your confidence is built on my nearness, then you will be able to take the next step even when the road beyond it remains covered. You will be able to obey without having to possess tomorrow. You will be able to move without becoming enslaved to fear. As it is written in Psalm 119:105, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Do you see? A lamp to your feet is not a floodlight over every mile. It does not show every bend in the road at once. It gives enough light for the step beneath you. It gives enough light so your foot does not stumble in the place where obedience is required now. And this is how I often lead my children, step by step, word by word, breath by breath, promise by promise. You ask me to illuminate the entire journey, but I am teaching you to trust the light I give for the next faithful step. Do not call the light small because it does not show you everything. Do not despise the next instruction because it is not the whole plan. Do not say I am silent when I have already told you to stand, to release, to forgive, to wait, to move, to pray, to stop returning to what I have delivered you from. The next step may seem simple, but simple obedience opens roads the anxious mind cannot create. The lamp may feel narrow, but it is enough when I am the one walking with you. My beloved child, you have felt late, but you are not late in my hands. You have felt overlooked, but you have not been unseen. You have felt delayed, but delay in your eyes is not delay in my kingdom. My timing is not careless. My timing is not confused. My timing is not behind the movements of others. I do not measure your journey by comparison. I do not build your life according to the calendar of those around you. What I am doing in you has an appointed hour, and the hour does not arrive because anxiety demands it. It arrives when my preparation is complete. Abraham walked without the full map, but he did not walk without me. Israel stood before the sea without the visible road, but they did not stand outside my promise. You may not know every detail of what I am shifting tonight, but you are not without guidance. You are not without covering. You are not without a word. You are not without the presence of the one who sees the end from the beginning and holds both in mercy. So let your heart be still. You do not need to know everything to obey what I have spoken. You do not need to feel fearless to take the next step. You do not need to understand the whole journey to trust the one who calls you forward. I will not give you a map that replaces your need for me. I will give you my promise, and my promise will carry you where human certainty cannot. And hear me now, because the promise is not only about where I am taking you, it is also about who I am rebuilding you to become on the way. The road is not merely transportation into a new place. The road is formation. The waiting is formation. The uncertainty is formation. The step you take with trembling is formation. I am not only leading you into what is ahead, I am rebuilding the inner life that will be able to dwell there in peace. And this rebuilding begins in the places no one else can see. It begins beneath the words you speak, beneath the decisions others notice, beneath the outward circumstances that have made you wonder if anything is truly changing. My beloved child, do not measure tonight only by what moves around you. Do not measure my work only by whether the door opens immediately, whether the relationship shifts immediately, whether the answer arrives before morning, whether the pressure lifts in the way your mind has imagined. There is a deeper place where I am working first. I am coming into the inner rooms of your life, into the hidden chambers of your heart, into the places where fear has shaped your reactions, where disappointment has trained your breathing, where old pain has taught you to expect loss before hope can rise. The shift begins inside before anything changes around you. It begins when your heart no longer bows instantly to panic. It begins when silence no longer feels like rejection. It begins when you can feel uncertainty and still remain with me. It begins when you stop chasing what I am asking you to release. It begins when you no longer confuse urgency with obedience, or anxiety with discernment, or control with wisdom. You may wake tomorrow and see some of the same circumstances still standing before you, but if your spirit has been repositioned, then you are not the same person standing before them. And that matters more than you know. I am not only changing your situation, I am changing the one who has been carrying the situation. I am changing the way you breathe under pressure. I am changing the way you listen when fear speaks loudly. I am changing the way you respond when something is delayed, when someone is silent, when the future is unclear, when the old temptation calls your name. I am teaching you how to remain rooted when life moves. I am teaching you how to be still without shutting down. I am teaching you how to wait without becoming bitter. I am teaching you how to let go without believing you have been abandoned. As it is written in Ezekiel 36:26, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Do you see? I do not merely rearrange the outside of a life while leaving the inner place unchanged. I enter the hardened places. I touch what has become numb from surviving too long. I soften what disappointment made rigid. I awaken what fear tried to bury. A heart of stone may feel protected, but it cannot receive deeply. It cannot trust freely. It cannot hope without bracing for harm. So I come with mercy, not to break you, but to make you living again. You have wondered why certain things no longer fit within you. You have wondered why you cannot return to the same patterns with the same numbness. You have wondered why old distractions feel thin, why old conversations reveal more than they used to, why old fears are being exposed instead of quietly controlling you from the dark. This is part of the shift. You are becoming more awake. You are becoming more discerning. You are beginning to recognize the difference between my voice and the voice of survival. You are beginning to notice when your hand reaches for control before your soul reaches for me. You are beginning to see what has been driving you, and my light is not coming to condemn you. My light is coming to free you. My beloved child, I am the potter, and you are in my hands. I know where pressure must be applied. I know where the vessel has become misshapen by grief, fear, striving, and the need to be accepted. I know how to reshape without destroying. I know how to press without crushing. I know how to form you again while keeping you held. What feels like pressure in this season is not always punishment. Sometimes it is formation. Sometimes it is my hand steadying what anxiety has distorted. Sometimes it is my mercy drawing out what would weaken the vessel if it remained hidden inside. I am also the farmer preparing the soil of your heart. I am turning over the ground that has been packed hard by disappointment. I am removing stones you learned to live around. I am pulling up roots of fear that wrap themselves around your expectations. I am watering dry places with my word. I am making room for seeds that cannot grow in soil ruled by panic. And though the soil may look disturbed before it looks fruitful, the disturbance is not destruction. It is preparation. Hidden work is still holy work. Unseen movement is still movement. A seed does not prove its future by appearing above the ground the moment it is planted. Much of life begins in darkness, covered, quiet, unseen, but fully held by my design. And I am the builder, strengthening the foundation within you. I am not interested in a life that looks steady on the outside while trembling with fear beneath the surface. I am not building a beautiful room on broken beams. I am not placing new weight on old insecurity. I am going beneath the surface. I am reinforcing trust. I am resetting identity. I am teaching your soul that you are mine before you are needed, before you are understood, before you are chosen by others, before every answer arrives. I am rebuilding you from within, because what I build in the hidden place will carry you in the visible place. So do not despise the quiet signs. Do not dismiss the small shift because it does not look dramatic. When you pause before reacting, I am working. When you pray instead of spiraling, I am working. When you let a door remain closed without forcing it open, I am working. When you stop chasing the person, the answer, the approval, the outcome, and you return your heart to me, I am working. When silence no longer owns you, when delay no longer defines you, when fear no longer commands your immediate obedience, the shift has already begun. Tonight may not answer every question, but it can change the posture of the one asking. Tonight may not settle every circumstance, but it can settle something deeper within you. Tonight may not remove the storm from the horizon, but it can place my presence like an anchor in the center of your soul. And from that place, you will begin to stand differently. You will begin to hear differently. You will begin to choose differently. You will begin to release what you once clutched, not because you stopped caring, but because you have learned that my hands are more faithful than your grip. Let me rebuild you where no one applauds, where no one notices, where no one can measure the miracle yet. Let me make your heart alive again. Let me teach your breath the rhythm of trust. Let me form in you a peace that does not need permission from circumstances before it enters. For this inner rebuilding is preparing you for the peace I am giving, a peace that will not wait until the storm is over, a peace that comes because I am near. My beloved child, hear me in the stillness of this hour. My peace will not wait until the storm is over. My peace does not stand outside your life, waiting for every wind to stop before it enters. My peace is not fragile. My peace is not dependent on human behavior, open doors, perfect answers, secure relationships, or visible proof that everything is improving. My peace is my presence within you while disturbance still exists. It is me drawing near in the middle of what has not yet settled. It is me breathing calm into the place where fear expected to rule. It is me becoming your refuge before the circumstances know how to change. You have known a kind of peace that was never truly peace. It was relief when no one was upset. It was quiet when no bill was pressing. It was rest only when every conversation felt secure, every plan seemed certain, every person behaved as you hoped, every door appeared open, every outcome looked controllable. You called it peace, because for a moment nothing was demanding more from you. But that kind of peace could be taken quickly. One message could shake it. One silence could disturb it. One unexpected expense. One closed door. One change in someone's tone. One unanswered prayer. One delay, and your heart would begin searching for ground again. But I am teaching you a peace that cannot be stolen by the first sound of trouble. I am teaching you a peace that remains when people are uncertain, when answers are delayed, when tomorrow is still hidden, when your body is tired, When your thoughts try to run ahead into places I have not asked you to enter, I am not giving you the peace of the world, as it is written in John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Do you see? I did not promise you a peace built on perfect conditions. I promised you my peace. The world gives peace when it can explain, secure, predict, and control. I give peace by giving myself. And because I am with you, you will no longer need perfect conditions to breathe. You will no longer need every question answered before you pray. You will no longer need every relationship secured before you sleep. You will no longer need every door opened before you trust. You will no longer need the storm to prove my love by ending immediately. You will learn to rest while the wind still moves, because your soul will know that I am nearer than the wind. You will learn to inhale slowly without asking fear for permission. You will learn to lie down at night without rehearsing every disaster your mind can imagine. You will learn to say, "My Father is here, and because He is here, this night cannot swallow me." I know how nighttime has felt for you. I know how the quiet hour can become loud inside. I know how the darkness outside the window can seem to invite every memory, every regret, every unfinished conversation, every fear about what may happen next. I have seen you lie awake with your body still, but your thoughts moving from one burden to another. I have seen you replay words, imagine losses, prepare for pain that has not arrived, and hold your heart tightly, as though vigilance could protect you from sorrow. But tonight I am entering that place. The night will not be your tormentor. The quiet hour will become a sanctuary. The same stillness that once made fear louder will now make my nearness clearer. As it is written in Isaiah 26:3, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on you, because they trust in you. Do you see? Perfect peace is not produced by perfect circumstances. It is kept in the one whose mind returns to me. Not a mind that never trembles, but a mind that comes back. Not a heart that never feels pressure, but a heart that chooses where to rest. When your thoughts begin to scatter, bring them back to me. When your imagination begins building rooms of disaster, bring it back to me. When your chest tightens and your hands hold what I never asked you to carry, bring yourself back to me. I am not far from you. I am not waiting at the end of the storm. I am present in this breath. So breathe slowly, my beloved child. Unclench your heart. Let your shoulders fall from the posture of defense. You do not have to solve tomorrow in this moment. You do not have to answer every fear before you receive my comfort. You do not have to keep watch over every possible outcome as though my care begins where your strength ends. Stop rehearsing disaster. Stop bowing before images of a future I have not spoken. Stop letting fear narrate what my hands are still holding. Let the breath I have given you become a small altar of surrender. Breathe in the truth that I am here. Breathe out the burden that has been pressing against your spirit. Breathe in my promise. Breathe out the need to control. My peace is not numbness. It is not denial. It is not pretending that what hurts does not hurt, or pretending that what is unresolved does not matter. My peace is stronger than denial because it can sit with truth and still remain unbroken. My peace allows you to face what is real without being ruled by it. It allows tears without despair, waiting without collapse, uncertainty without panic, surrender without emptiness. It does not make you less alive. It makes you more rooted. It does not silence your heart by force. It steadies your heart by presence. Tonight, let peace begin before proof arrives. Let peace enter before the answer is visible. Let peace settle into the places where fear has been rehearsing its arguments. I am not asking you to manufacture calm. I am inviting you to receive me. And where my presence is received, peace begins to rise like light before dawn, quietly, gently, surely. You may still see the storm, but the storm will no longer be the center. You may still have questions, but the questions will no longer be your master. You may still wait, but waiting will no longer feel like abandonment. And as my peace enters, you will begin to understand why I have been asking you to release what you have carried for too long. Peace makes surrender possible. Peace loosens the grip of fear. Peace teaches your soul that you can let go and still be held. For the burden you have been carrying into every night was never meant to cross into tomorrow with you, and now, in my presence, I will show you what to lay down. My beloved child, This is the place where you must stop carrying what I have already touched. This is the place where your hands must open, not because you are being forced, not because I am angry with you, not because you have failed to be strong enough, but because love is calling you out from under a weight I never placed upon your shoulders. You have carried some things so long that they have begun to feel like part of your identity. You have held them through nights, through prayers, through disappointments, through conversations no one else heard, through moments when you smiled while your soul was bent low beneath the pressure. But I tell you tonight, what has become heavier than grace is not yours to carry into tomorrow. You no longer need to hold what I am asking you to place in my hands. You no longer need to guard what I am able to keep. You no longer need to rehearse what I have already forgiven. You no longer need to fix what only my spirit can heal. You no longer need to carry the timeline as though your worry can make the appointed hour arrive sooner. You no longer need to stand watch over every person, every outcome, every open question, every unfinished place, as though the world will fall apart if your heart finally rests. I am not asking you to abandon responsibility. I am asking you to release false lordship. I am asking you to stop carrying as yours what belongs in my hands. I see the guilt over past choices that still tries to follow you into quiet places. I see how you revisit what you said, what you did, what you did not know then, what you wish you had understood sooner. I see how regret has tried to become a voice of punishment inside you, telling you that you must keep paying for what my mercy has already met. But, my beloved child, conviction leads you toward me. Condemnation drives you into hiding. My correction restores. Shame only buries. Do not confuse the voice of shame with my voice. I am not calling you to live chained to yesterday. I am calling you to surrender yesterday to the one who redeems time, restores wisdom, and brings beauty even from places you thought were wasted. I see the pressure you feel to fix everyone. I see how you carry the emotions of others, as though their peace must be created by your constant effort. I see how you measure your worth by whether people are pleased, whether they understand, whether they stay, whether they approve, whether they need you. I see how exhausting it has been to become a shelter for others, while your own heart has been quietly crying out for rest. But you are not the savior of those you love. You are mine. You may love them, pray for them, speak truth to them, and serve them with tenderness, but you cannot become their foundation. That place belongs to me. Release them into my care. Release the need to control their response. Release the burden of being responsible for what only my presence can transform. I see the fear of being forgotten. I see the place in you that wonders whether, if you stop striving, you will disappear from the minds of people and from the movement of life. I see how you have pushed, performed, proven, explained, and overextended yourself because somewhere deep inside you feared that rest would make you invisible. But I have not forgotten you. Your name has not slipped from my heart. Your future is not being held together by your exhaustion. You do not have to keep proving that you matter. You matter because you are mine. Before anyone recognized you, I saw you. Before anyone chose you, I loved you. Before anyone affirmed your value, I placed my breath within you. And I see the anger over delay. I see the ache beneath it. I know that some of your frustration is not rebellion, but grief that has not known where to go. You have waited longer than you expected. You have watched others move forward while you remained in the hidden place. You have prayed and wondered why the door did not open, why the answer did not come, why the promise seemed near and then far again. Bring that anger to me, not as accusation that separates you, but as honesty that lets me meet you. I am not threatened by your trembling honesty. I can hold the ache you have been afraid to name, but do not let anger become the weight that follows you into tomorrow. Lay it down. Let me wash the bitterness from the waiting. Let me teach your heart again that my timing is not rejection. As it is written in Matthew 11:28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Do you see? I did not say, "Come when you have made yourself light." I did not say, "Come when you have explained the burden, justified the burden, organized the burden, or carried it with perfect strength." I said, "Come to me, come weary, come burdened. Come with the places that are too heavy for your hands. Come with the guilt, the pressure, the fear, the anger, the exhaustion, the old identity that told you your value depends on how much you can endure. Come, and I will give you rest." Release is obedience, but it is obedience born from love. It is not performance. It is not a spiritual display. It is not pretending you do not care. It is trust opening its hands. It is the soul saying, "Father, I cannot carry this and remain tender. I cannot carry this and move freely into what you are preparing. I cannot carry this and hear you clearly. So I place it in your hands, because your hands are stronger than mine. Your hands are wiser than mine. Your hands can keep what my anxiety can only clutch." Tonight, if your heart is ready, let agreement rise from within you. Say it quietly where you are, and if you are able, write these words as a declaration of surrender. I release what God is shifting tonight. Write it not as a ritual of pressure, but as a sign that your hands are opening. I release what God is shifting tonight. I release the old weight. I release the false responsibility. I release the need to be understood by everyone. I release the fear that if I let go, I will be left with nothing. I release the version of myself that survived by carrying too much. For you cannot enter tomorrow carrying what I am asking you to release tonight. Not because I am withholding tomorrow from you, but because I am making tomorrow a place of freedom, not another room filled with yesterday's burdens. I am not emptying your hands to leave you bare. I am opening space for what is true. Release is not emptiness. Release is room. Release is the clearing of an old foundation, so my promise can stand without being crowded by fear. What you place in my hands tonight will not leave you abandoned. It will make space for identity. It will make space for renewal. It will make space for the foundation I am now establishing within you. The space you feel now is not abandonment. It is not proof that something has been taken from you without purpose. It is not the silence of rejection, and it is not the emptiness of being forgotten. My beloved child, the room created by release is the room where I will restore what fear tried to rename. You are not being left vacant. You are being made spacious. You are not being hollowed out for loss. You are being cleared for renewal. What has left your hands has not left you without identity, because your identity was never inside what you carried. Your identity is in me. I know the empty place can feel strange at first. When you have carried pressure for a long time, rest can feel unfamiliar. When you have lived by striving, stillness can feel unsafe. When you have built your sense of self around being needed, fixing, proving, surviving, explaining, and enduring, the absence of that weight can make you wonder who you are without it. But I tell you the truth. You are mine before you are useful. You are mine before you are understood. You are mine before you are chosen by people. You are mine before the door opens, before the answer arrives, before the next season becomes visible. You are seen, you are known, you are loved. You are not forgotten, you are not disqualified. The old labels are losing authority tonight. The words that followed you through hidden places are being broken from your name. Abandoned is not your name. Rejected is not your name. Behind is not your name. Too late is not your name. Too broken is not your name. Too tired is not your name. Too unstable is not your name. Those words may have touched your story, but they do not own your identity. They may have described a season, but they cannot define, my child. I have called you by name, and you are mine. I have placed my hand upon you, and what I bless cannot be reduced to what wounded you. Do you see? The space is not proof that nothing remains. The space is proof that the false structures have lost their right to crowd the foundation. I am making room for you to remember who you are in me, one who dwells in my presence, one who hears my voice, one who carries peace into places where fear once ruled, one who walks with discernment instead of desperation, one who does not build life around panic, approval, control, or the fear of being left behind. I am forming in you a quieter strength. I am establishing in you a steadier spirit. I am teaching you to live from belonging, not from begging life to confirm your worth. Look at Lazarus. What looked finished was not finished. What looked buried was not beyond my voice. Others had sealed the tomb, counted the days, accepted the ending, and wrapped the story in grave clothes. But my words still entered the place no one expected life to answer from. In the same way, there are places in you that you thought were too far gone, too silent, too covered, too late to rise again. But I still speak into sealed places. I still call life by name. I still command what has been bound to come forth. Look at Joseph. What looked like betrayal was not the end of his calling. What looked like a pit, a prison, and forgotten years was not proof that I had abandoned him. I was forming wisdom where no one applauded. I was preparing authority in the hidden place. I was building a vessel strong enough to carry the weight of a future he could not yet see. And look at Naomi, who returned saying she was empty, carrying grief, loss, and the ache of what could not be undone. Yet even there, I was not finished. What looked empty could return full. What looked like a final chapter could become the doorway into restoration. So do not curse the empty room. Do not rush to fill it with the first familiar weight that calls your name. Do not rebuild the old wall because open space feels unfamiliar. Let the room remain open before me. Let the silence become holy. Let the cleared place become an altar. I am not asking you to perform renewal. I am asking you to receive it. I am not asking you to invent a new identity. I am asking you to let me uncover the one I placed within you before fear taught you to hide. From this night forward, you will not be governed by the old names. You will not be ruled by the old fear. You will not be anchored to the old foundation that trembled beneath you. I decree over you that you are being reset. You are being repositioned. You are being established. Your life is being planted upon a foundation that cannot be shaken, because the foundation is not human approval, not perfect circumstances, not your ability to hold everything together, but me. I am your rock. I am your dwelling. I am your refuge. I am the one who remains when everything false loses its voice. Remain here with me now. Do not rush away from this moment. Do not hurry back into noise before surrender has finished its work. Let your soul stay open. Let your hands remain unclenched. Let the empty space breathe. For in this room of renewal, I am restoring your name, steadying your heart, and preparing you to pray, not from fear, but from trust. Father, I come to you now in the stillness of this night, and I will not walk away from what you are doing in me. I will not rush past the place where you are speaking. I will not cover the stirring in my soul with noise, distraction, fear, or familiar patterns. I choose to remain here with you. I choose to stay where your presence is meeting me. I choose to let this night become more than another hour of wondering. Let this night become the place where I surrender personally what I have only heard as a promise. Let this prayer become the opening of my hands, the softening of my heart, and the agreement of my spirit with your holy shift. Father, I confess that I have been afraid. I have feared losing what was familiar, even when what was familiar was no longer giving life. I have feared stepping away from old foundations because I did not know what would hold me if they were removed. I have called some things stable because they were predictable, not because they were holy. I have leaned on control and called it wisdom. I have leaned on overthinking and called it preparation. I have leaned on people, outcomes, explanations, and visible certainty, and I have forgotten that you alone are the rock beneath my life. Forgive me for returning in my heart to familiar captivity simply because freedom felt unknown. I confess the places where delay has made me weary. I confess the questions I have carried like stones inside my chest. I confess the disappointment I tried to hide, the prayers I stopped praying with expectation, the dreams I lowered because waiting felt too painful. I confess the exhaustion of trying to understand everything before trusting you. I confess the temptation to run back to what once bound me because at least I knew its shape. But tonight, Father, I do not want to be governed by fear. I do not want to be led by old wounds. I do not want to rebuild what you have lovingly shaken. I want to follow you, even when I do not have the full map. So I release what I have carried without your permission. I release the burden of fixing what only you can heal. I release the need to control tomorrow. I release the unanswered question into your hands. I release the closed door into your wisdom. I release the hidden burden I have not had words to explain. I release the guilt that has tried to chain me to yesterday. I release the fear that I will be forgotten if I stop striving. I release the anger that delay has awakened in me. I release the false responsibility, the old identity, the anxious timeline, and every weight that has become heavier than grace. Father, place tomorrow in your hands. Place my heart in your hands. Place my future in your hands. I surrender what I cannot see, what I cannot solve, what I cannot force, and what I cannot carry any longer. Teach me to trust you with the spaces that still feel unfinished. Teach me to believe that your silence is not absence, that your timing is not rejection, and that your hidden preparation is not wasted time. I believe your timing is exact, not late, not careless, not uncertain. Exact. I believe you are preparing what concerns me, and you are also preparing me for what you have promised. Give me your peace tonight. not the peace of perfect circumstances, but the peace of your presence. Let my mind return to you when it begins to scatter. Let my body rest from the posture of defense. Let my spirit breathe again. Give me discernment to recognize what you are removing and what you are establishing. Give me courage to stand still at the edge of obedience until you open the way. Give me rest that does not depend on knowing every answer. Give me the ability to recognize the shift even before anything changes around me. Let me sense your work in my reactions, my thoughts, my desires, my surrender, and my quiet willingness to trust. Tonight I declare that I am not abandoned. Tonight I am being rebuilt. Tonight God is shifting me from fear into faith, from sand onto rock, from striving into peace, from old captivity into holy freedom. Tonight I am not empty without purpose. I am being made spacious for renewal. Tonight I am not behind. I am held in divine timing. Tonight I am not rejected. I am known, seen, chosen, and loved. Tonight I am not being destroyed by the shaking. I am being repositioned by the hand of my Father. Thank you, Father, for staying with me in the night. Thank you for not leaving me to interpret the shaking through fear. Thank you for removing what could not carry my future and for establishing what cannot be shaken. Thank you for the closed doors that protected me, the delays that prepared me, the silence that drew me nearer, and the empty space that is becoming a room for renewal. I trust you with what I cannot trace. I trust you with what I cannot yet explain. I trust you with the movement beneath the surface. Let this night become a place of holy rest and holy movement. Let my surrender be received. Let my heart be steadied. Let my hands remain open. Let my soul sleep under the covering of your presence. I will not walk away from what you are doing in me tonight. I will stay. I will surrender. I will receive the shift. Amen. Do not leave this night without agreement. Do not let this moment pass as though you have only listened and then returned, unchanged to the same fear, the same weight, the same old interpretation. Let your response become a witness. Let your words become an altar. Let your agreement rise not from pressure, but from faith. For what I have spoken over you tonight is not meant to remain outside of you. It is meant to be received, held, and carried into the quiet places of your heart. If this message has met you in a hidden place, leave your prayer request in the comments. Do not carry it alone in silence. Let others stand with you for the shift I am bringing tonight. Let this become a place where burdens are named before me, where faith agrees with faith, where someone reads your words and prays. Father, strengthen them, guide them, restore them, and let them remain steady in what you are doing. You are not the only one standing at a threshold. You are not the only one learning to release, to trust, to wait, and to receive peace before the storm is finished. And if your heart is ready to agree, write this declaration in the comments. God is shifting me tonight, and I will not walk away. Write it slowly. Write it as a personal act of faith, not because the comment itself changes your life, but because agreement matters. Your soul needs to hear what fear has tried to silence. God is shifting me tonight, and I will not walk away. I will not walk away from surrender. I will not walk away from peace. I will not walk away from the room of renewal. I will not walk away from the foundation God is building within me. If this message helped you stay in faith instead of returning to fear, take a moment to like this video. Let it reach another weary heart in the night. Share it with someone who may be standing at their own midnight threshold, someone who feels the shaking and needs to know they are not being abandoned, but lovingly repositioned. And if you want to continue receiving prayer-based messages that strengthen your faith during seasons of transition, waiting, surrender, and renewal, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can be reminded again and again that I am near in every season. Now rest, my beloved child. Rest without striving. Rest without returning to the old weight. Rest under the covering of my presence. What I have begun in you tonight, I will be faithful to complete.